Okay, guys, I had a day to kill while I was up in Haley. So I got on Onyx, saw some trails out of Ketchum. I'm heading up to Ketchum. It's about 16 miles or so north. And as you can see, there's a lot of construction going on in Ketchum. Ketchum was originally called Leadville back in the 1880s because of the lead and silver mining that was going on along the Wood River. David Ketchum sold supplies to the miners, and the U.S. Post Office officially changed the name because Leadville was too common. But Ketchum is booming. I mean, look at this. There's a huge crane up here, all kinds of construction along the road. Definitely a lot of construction going on. Here we're covering a bridge across the Wood River, which was originally where all the mining took place. Wood River goes north about another 9 or so miles and then forks off to the North Fork and South Fork. So considering the history of this town, don't see a whole lot of it with the buildings or construction. Seems to me like turning into a modern city. Interesting thing about this valley is it's considered part of the dark skies. So there's not a whole lot of street lights. As a matter of fact, I was noticing that last night when I rolled in through Haley. No street lights. Absolutely bizarre. So you can see here there's a couple up above, but not really anything to speak of, so that you can pay attention to the night skies. Interesting concept. Don't think I've ever run across that in any U.S. city so far. We're just kind of rolling through town. I am on Sun Valley Road right now, which is one of the 2 highlighted roads out of Ketchum. It supposedly winds up through the mountains. I don't know how far, because the road, that portion that was highlighted was only, it stopped partway on the road. Still in Ketchum at this point. Sun Valley is just up ahead, and I'm not sure why the separation, but you can see off to the left it just seems like a bunch of townhomes and condos. You got the bike trails, walking paths, and of course the ski resort back there in the mountain behind us in Ketchum is pretty much what Ketchum's known for. So back in 1936, Ketchum was supposedly the first U.S. city to have a ski resort. Matter of fact, Ernest Hemingway moved here shortly after and resided. He's supposedly buried in the Ketchum cemetery. So I'm going to pull over here because all I'm seeing is bike paths and walking places, just to make sure I'm actually heading in the right direction and how much farther it's going to be. But you can see the mountains up ahead. Well, you might not be able to from this position, but there is a tad bit of snow up there. And considering it's middle of November, I'd think there'd be a lot more snow than that. But as you know, the Pacific Northwest just is not getting a winter this year. So we're going to cruise on up the road, continue on, see what else we can find. Not sure what we're in store for, but the walking trails and bike trails just continue on the river. They don't seem to be paved anymore, but there's definitely a lot of people out here walking their dogs along the river. Gorgeous area, beautiful valley. So in the 1890s, the mining died off and it started to transfer over to cattle and sheep, which I think this area would have been better known for anyway, just judging by the mountains and valleys. That road there off to the right, I'm gonna fall back on here in a second. So this is paved. It's rough paved. It looks like it was oiled and then they just dumped gravel on top. Typical for a snow area back road. It enables them to get the snow plows up here and clean it off if they want to. Super wide open valley and beautiful. See, there's a nice big camp spot. So I'm gonna head back down, take that other road. I've been at this for a while yet. See what I can see. Nothing really much on those signs as far as road closures or any specific information. Here's a cute little Delica saw coming out of there. This was interesting, I thought. Little corral for gathering up livestock, obviously, but it's been kept up. I didn't pass any cattle guards or anything either, so I was completely unexpected to see that. Here I'm rolling up on another car. Not sure what they're up to, but they're definitely driving slow, so I'm just going to back off and not put any pressure on them. They're out enjoying the day too. It is a Monday, so I'm kind of surprised to see people out and about on a Monday. Imagining that the weekend looks a whole lot different up here as far as cars. I'm going to pull off here for a second. Get out of the car, walk around. I noticed when I was out of the car, quite a few rocks sitting around with quartz in it. Now, I don't imagine that they went too far for graveling these roads. Took it from wherever they could get it, and usually local. Here I am approaching the end. I don't quite know it yet, but little parking area, complete with a nice rest area. That car that was ahead of me is pulling back out. Maybe I gave them enough time to go take care of their business. Keeping my distance again. Out here in the middle of nowhere, you know, don't want to put too much pressure on people. I was kind of bummed to see the end of this road, but I'm going to take off here and see what's up this trail real quick. Supposed to be a pioneer cabin up here somewhere on this trail. Number 122. It's nothing that says how far it is, just rules and regulations. But this trail, unfortunately, isn't going to work with these shoes. I'm up here for the dog's operation. I didn't plan on doing off-road hiking. It's just gorgeous up here. I imagine Colorado looks a lot like this. Look at the quartz veins in those rocks. Gotta be some old gold mines around here too. Cool old bridge, or new bridge. Anyway, this is the end of the road, unfortunately, this one. But way up in the mountains, I saw some snow. Can't see the mountains now, they're in the clouds, but there's fresh snow up there. I'd like to see if I can get to it, so that's what we're gonna do. Check back with you later. Okay, here we are. I'm back at the corral. I'm gonna cruise by here and see what's up this little road. I don't imagine it's too much. Again, really nice restroom. I imagine it serves for more than just the cattle drivers. And someone is doing a pretty decent job of keeping up the corral. It rained pretty hard last night. Yesterday, actually, on my way in to Idaho. I hit rain most of the way. Not a lot to see as far as sightseeing goes, but it made for some muddy roads today. Well, not much here. I am going to walk around. I did see a pile of bones, so I know that there is wildlife up here somewhere, although I haven't seen a whole lot yet. But if all I'm going to find is bones, I guess that explains where the wildlife went. Time to get back in the rig and head on down the road. Aspens, pines, firs. I imagine this is what a lot of Colorado looks like. So on the way out of here, you'll notice I don't see any cattle guards or anything. No fences. I don't understand if they are running cattle or something up here. How they're keeping it confined. There was a national forest road at the beginning, way down there. So I imagine there's some kind of grazing rights going on up here during the summer months. As in most of the national forests. Gorgeous terrain. I just wish I could actually get somewhere. It looks like the car we ran across. It's kind of a cool area. Nice creek running through the bottom. Beautiful mountains. River just cruises right on down the valley. I bet this is gorgeous in the summer, even the fall. The leaves are changing. Guessing those are aspen, maybe some cottonwoods in there too. This road is highlighted on Onyx. It's, I don't know. Not sure why yet. You can see way up there again, snow. I'm having a little trouble getting there. Back on the road, there's another nice porta potty rest area there. That area off to the left is a huge swath that runs down close to the creek. That one is actually called Trail Creek. We'll get to see a little bit more of it here in a little bit. Area is definitely set up for camping and outdoor activities, which I guess is kind of the basis for what Ketchum is now becoming. Though downtown looked like a lot of upscale dining and shopping. One thing I did notice is there is no chains, no fast food places, no large-scale supermarkets. Check this out. I couldn't stop without taking a picture of this. Check this out. I couldn't stop without taking a picture of this. It's just a huge marsh in the valley. Beautiful. Something a bird dog might like this area. Quite a few spots on this road to pull off and camp. Well maintained. The road looks awesome. I did pass a couple guys fly fishing too. I don't know if you guys can see the colors in that pond right there. Turquoise, teal, blue. It's gorgeous. Anyway, onward we go. And just a short distance up the road, there's a gate with cars. Roll on up here a second, you'll be able to read the sign. Today's November 17th. So I missed it. And the highlighted section keeps on going. Well, that's the end of that. Missed it by 2 days. What a bummer. More of that valley, just right above the marsh, actually. Goes on and on and on. Those crags in the mountains are just fabulous. Again, it's probably just like Colorado. I have not been to Colorado. This is actually my first time hanging out in Idaho. I'm around the Ketchum, Sun Valley area. Remy's down in Haley, getting his surgery done on his knee. So after I got done taping that, I noticed down to my left at the bottom, there was a hunter. He told me that he's bow hunting for moose. Doesn't entirely look like a moose area. However, the marsh could be a good place for them to hang out. As far as cover, I don't know where they would hide. It's pretty wide open down there and visible from a long ways away. Anyway, this is the end of this road. I'm going to probably venture off and find the other road on the other side of Ketchum, which would be the west side, and see what that looks like.